All right, guys, we're recording. All right, so you guys, I'm super duper excited about our Zoom tonight. We have, obviously, everybody already knows, a super special guest. And I just want to take a second and tell you what Justin means to me. How's that? So, Justin has been with Modere from the get-go. So he's kind of paved the way of this wonderful company that's doing such incredible things for us. He's got to kind of lay those pavers down for us to pave the way. He, when you think of who you would ideally want to work with as an upline or as a support system, Justin is who I think of. And we've got to kind of start to build a pretty great relationship over the course of the past month or two. And it has changed my business personally. It's changed me personally, just by what he's willing to invest. And so when I asked him if he would jump on with us tonight, there wasn't even a hesitation. So please know that he's equally invested in each one of you. It doesn't come with a rank that you get his investment. It just comes with being part of this company. So I feel very fortunate to get to introduce somebody that I look up to incredibly, but I also feel very fortunate that I get to work alongside him. He doesn't ever make me feel like I have to look up to him. We just get to lock arms. So Justin, thank you so much for being on tonight. We are so blessed to have you. I appreciate you. And I know we talked about a few things I wanted you to kind of go over, and then we'll just kind of go from there, maybe some Q&A, and we're going to soak you tonight, okay?
Love it. Daphne, I am so honored to be on with you. Can you hear me okay? Well, guys, what an honor. Daphne, I think so highly of you. I think so highly of Tammy and your leadership team, and just appreciate you guys allowing me to come on here tonight and chat with you for a few minutes. So do you guys mind? So here's what I'm like thinking is we'll end with some Q&A. So if you have questions or if anything I can answer for you or whatever, I'm happy to address it. But I have three sets of threes. I have three sets of threes I want to share with you tonight. And the first two sets are habits, they're daily habits. The last set is daily strategy leading into the end of the month. Because what I want to share with you ladies is this. Okay, so what I want to talk about with you tonight will help us to close November strong. It'll help us to close December strong. But as a leader, and by the way, I want you to know, I recognize all of you as leaders. Leaders are the ones that show up. Like, we're leading right now. Like, this is us. This is the leaders. You might say, well, my rank's not like a E1 or E2 or whatever. Hey, no. If you're showing up consistently, guess what the leaders do? They show up consistently. So you're leading by doing the actions. And so the third thing I want to share with you, though, is strategy. Because as a leader, you always want to be ahead of your team. I tell people, you always want to be one book ahead of your team, one audio ahead of your team, one event ahead of your team. So you always have something to share. So here's part of what you want to be. You want to be 3 months ahead of your team, 6 months ahead of your team, 9 months ahead of your team, 12 months ahead of your team, meaning you're not just reacting to today. You've got a strategy. Like you're already thinking about, how am I going to close November on November 13th or 14th? You're already thinking about, how am I going to close December on November 14th? You're already thinking, how am I going to launch January 1st on November 13 or 14? Does that make sense? So you're always ahead of your team. Your leadership is a couple steps ahead. It's like you're playing chess and you're 2 or 3 or 4 steps ahead. I mean, you're just kind of that's what great leaders do. Okay, so can I dive in? I'm going to give you guys a ton, so we're going to go fast, and so write fast, and here we go. All right, number 1, 3 daily patterns, 3 daily morning routines. Number 1, I want you to avoid your cell phone first thing in the morning. Basically, I want you to avoid your cell phone for the first hour of the day. So avoid your cell phone. So here's the deal. There was research done that said that people that avoided their email, basically avoided jumping on email and responding to email for the first hour of the day, were 76% more effective and more efficient than everybody else in the study if they would just avoid their email for the first hour of the day. Now, although the study was only specifically on email, I think it's fair for all of us I think we would all agree, text messages, social media, like just all of that reactive. So here's the thing. I want to encourage you to first hour of the day, no social media, no text, no email. I want you to think of a whale, and I realize that many of you on here tonight are parents, and specifically moms. Moms have, it's so cute with a mom. Moms have like 10 arms, dude. They're like grabbing the kid and here and changing the diaper and helping them cook them, and just, it's like they can do everything all at once at the same time. It's just unbelievable. Guys are like, we can like fumble around with both hands trying to figure one task out at a time, The point I'm saying is this: you cannot give what you don't have. And so what I want to share with you ladies is this, is first thing in the morning, this is time that you have to invest in pouring water into the well. Imagine a water that you dig down to pull water out of a well, like a natural spring. If you dig down and all you grind at the bottom is dirt and rocks, guys, there's just nothing left to give. You can't give it to your spouse. You can't give it to your family, your church, your kids. You can't give it to your team. You can't give it to yourself because there's just nothing left in the well. And so how many of us can relate to that? We're like running on empty all the time, right? One of the things is we are instantly reactive versus focusing on becoming proactive. And we'll talk about that in a second. Okay, number one, avoid your cell phone first hour of the day. Number two, proactively listen to something positive for the first 20 minutes that you're awake. So you could even ask my wife if I do this. I literally it's like habitual, dude. Like I roll over, boom. Like I have something positive playing instantly. Now it might be different things for you. Maybe it's a positive YouTube. Maybe it is some spiritual music for you or spiritual whatever, affirmations. Maybe it's a talk or a book on tape that you're listening to, something you're excited about. By the way, I'm gonna encourage you, find something you're excited about. So like when you wake up in the morning, you actually are like looking forward to hearing it. You're looking forward to listening to it. You're looking forward to learning it. Your mind works on wave cycles. If you were to hook up those patches that you've seen, like those electrical currents, your mind basically works on electrical currents. They're called EEGs. Your heart works on what's called EKGs. Any of us that have ever had a life insurance policy done for us, they hook up your heart to make sure, check your health. It's called an EKG. Well, what happens is in the first 20 minutes that you're awake, your mind works at 10.5 wave cycles per second. It works, basically, it's just refreshed. It works faster in the morning. I know this sounds kind of crazy because sometimes we wake up, we're a little groggy. The subconscious isn't groggy. It's like ready to roll, okay? So the first 20 minutes of the day, I want you to pour positive in. So you're not giving, you're not serving, you're not inspiring everybody else, you're not reacting to everybody else yet. You're just pouring into the well here. This will become almost like sacred time for you, where you can just like I don't like to start my day. You guys know how it is. You get on your phone and it's just like game on. Like your team's like, what about this? What about that? You're just like, here we go. I don't like to start my day without me being really, really full. Like I've actually had a social marketer say to me before, and it's a sweet compliment. I appreciate it. Everybody's like, you always are pouring into everybody, blah, blah, blah. Guys, that doesn't just happen just because. Like that happens because I'm proactively ritualized I've created habits to make sure that I'm poured into first. So it's like, who motivates the motivator? Does that make sense? So as a leader, you need to be one audio ahead, one book ahead, proactively pouring in. Okay, number three. I'm gonna have you guys write this down in your notes, if that's okay. All right, across the page of your notes, I want you to write the word goal. So goal across the top, and then I want you to underline it. Okay, so write the word goal and then underline it. Now, I want to point out this can be a big, humongous goal, or it can be a small goal, meaning a life goal, or like my life's purpose is kind of thing, or it could be like today my goal is. Does that make sense? It could be as big or as small as you want. Okay, you underline it. Under the underline, I want you to write a line straight down. So you should say goal, underlined with a line down the middle of your page, kind of separating your page into two sides. So once you have the line down the middle of the page, I want on the left-hand side, I want you to write the word proactive. On the left-hand side of your page, I want you to write the word proactive. On the right-hand side of your page, I want you to write the word reactive. So proactive on the left-hand side, reactive on the right-hand side. On the left-hand side, under the word proactive, I want you to write the words reach out to. So reach out to. And then on the right-hand side, under the word reactive, I want you to write the words respond to. I knew it wouldn't be long before you. I love that. That sounds like my house. By the way, it's going to be a miracle if we make it through this whole thing without a few kids coming in and joining this live. I promise you that. They're like, it's like the calm before the storm right now. They're at dance and practice. Okay, so here's the deal. You want to stay in the creative stage of your business. The creative stage is the proactive stage. When you're creatively building a business versus reacting and maintaining a business. They're different stages, okay? So you want to keep your mind in the proactive stage. The proactive stage is the creative stage. This is the stuff that you want to stay on the left side of your page here, okay? So let me give you an example. Let's say that my goal is to go bronze. And again, remember, we can say big goals, small goals. You can use the same exercise, the same format. You can use this for big goals, small goals. Doesn't matter what your goal is, okay? So here's the deal. Let's say that your goal is I'm gonna go bronze. And I'm, again, using this as an illustration. And let's say you say I need 5 customers. Okay, I'm gonna go bronze, that's my goal. I need 5 customers. I'm clear on what the goal entails, like what I need to accomplish. Now here's the deal. Who do I need to reach out to, proactively reach out to hit my goal today? So let me give you guys an example. You write down your customer list. I need to reach out to so-and-so, 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 so-and-so. You write down your social marketer list. I need to reach out to these people. You write down the list of customers that you need to follow up with, because maybe you have a list of folks you've already talked to and you've gone back and forth, but they're kind of on the fence. You reach out, you write down that you need to do a curiosity post, like a Facebook Live or a before and after post. So proactive. This is not like you have a strategy. Here's proactively what I'm gonna do today. Here's who I'm gonna reach out to. Here's proactively what I'm gonna do to make that happen. Now, reactive. Your reactive list is who do you need to respond to? You respond to is who sent you a Facebook message, who sent you a text message, who called you, what customer has a complaint that you need to frickin' help them get their order returned or whatever. That's all respond to. So here's the point. How do you know which list to respond to? You put it in order of what is going to help you to get to your goal. You guys following what I'm saying? Now here's the thing. Guess what most of us do? Our entire lives are in the right side. Or just respond all day long. Like how many of us have had those days where like the day's over and you like worked your ever-loving guts out and you're like, I got nothing done today. You know, like that. Or like I got crap done, but it wasn't like even my goal. Like, what am I doing? Or even more importantly, how many of us have had this? A week goes by, a month goes by, a quarter goes by, 6 months goes by. And we're like, I'm like working every single day and I'm like not even going anywhere. Like I'm just like spinning my wheels sort of. Well, guys, some of that's like our own like fault, meaning we just react. Now we do it because we're great people. We're trying to serve the customer, serve the team, blah, 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 blah. But if you're not, my mentor said this to me. He goes, the best thing you can do for your team is get your check through the stratosphere. I remember thinking, great advice, bro. Thanks. But here's the thing is the best thing you can do. He goes, it's the best thing you can do for your credibility and for your confidence. What I'm trying to say, remember the old adage, when you get on an airplane and if they say, in case of emergency, the masks fall down, they don't say secure your child first. They say secure yourself first, which seems selfish when you're sitting next to your child who you do anything for. But if you're not secure, we're not going to be able to secure them. Are you guys following what I'm saying? So if you don't have clear goals that you're trying to hit every single day and clear plans, and all you're doing is just busy working yourself to death, you're going to burn yourself out and it's not going to feel like you're not going to be enjoying your experience. Guys, let's have clear goals. And then I want us to be goal achievers, not goal setters. And I'm going to encourage you to build a culture within your team. We're not goal setters. Like, how many of us are like, I'm going to be an elite, just like we like make these goals and then like we don't like have plans and strategies and like game plans. Like, here's who I'm reaching out to today to go hit my goal. We are not goal setters, we're goal achievers. There's a big, humongous difference. Most people talk a great game and they don't do a great game. Most people, the tongue in their mouth outworks the tongue in their shoes. I mean, they talk a great game, but like they don't actually like go achieve the goal. You know what I'm saying? Like do the actual work. So, okay. So let me go back. On your left-hand side, your proactive side, I would proactively in the morning, going back to these habits, because I would do this every single day. By the way, I'd review it at night and then build your next plan for the next day. What's my goal? Proactively, who am I going to reach out to? Who do I need to respond to? And then the respond to is in order of you proactive, the creative stage of the business. And then you go into the reactive stage. The reactive stage is I need to respond to her, her, and her, him, and him, like help this customer. Do it in order of helping your goal. Because sometimes you need to respond to people that are actually going to help the goal. But so do them, they're first. They go first. Here's the real point I'm trying to make. Your life should not be an emergency all the time. Like if you're just responding to everybody else all the time, you're not going to build your goals. I promise. It's very reactive, and you're getting into their agenda versus building your own agenda. Like own agenda meaning you're like You're responding to their agenda versus proactively building your own dream. Does that make sense? So let me go back to, and then we'll move to the next section. Let me go back to the idea about avoiding your phone, avoiding social media, avoiding your Facebook messages, avoiding your text, avoiding your email. The number one reason I want you to avoid it is because you instantly are part of their agenda. Boom, that fast. I'd avoid the news first thing in the morning, no question about it. Like, you need to pour your proactive positive in so that you're proactively building your dreams versus like reacting to everybody else's fires and everybody else's drama and everybody else's craziness and so on. That makes sense? Okay. All right. That's the first three. So avoid your cell phone first thing in the morning, pour at least 20 minutes. On the 20 minutes, listen with relaxed belief. Listen with the relaxed belief, meaning listen like it's believing that it's possible for you. I've done this for years, dude, like decade plus, like 15 years, and it's powerful. It won't happen tomorrow. You'll feel it, by the way. You'll feel like more like, wow, that was good. But you won't be a bazillionaire tomorrow, but I promise you, you just keep pouring, because remember this, let me share this about habits. Your habits are either going this way and serving you, or they're going this way and they're not serving you. There's a compound effect of habits. In other words, what you don't do matters and what you do matters. So in other words, if you're not doing these positive things every single day, guess what naturally is happening? You're not doing them, so you're actually proactively going the wrong direction. Does that make sense? There's no status quo in life. You're either growing or dying. It's just it's like how life was designed. So if you're not doing those positive daily habits, if you're not doing them, then by default, you're actually heading the wrong direction. So you want to build some positive habits. Okay, let's move to number 2, the second set of threes. Is everyone with me so far? Everyone doing okay? I know I'm coming at you fast here. Okay, second set of threes. It's what I call it's my 3-bucket strategy to recruiting more social marketers and acquiring more customers. 3-bucket strategy. Bucket number 1 is Facebook. So Facebook, like, how do you like, comment, share? What do you post? Your videos, your Facebook groups, that's Facebook. Your Facebook online profile, etc. That's Facebook. Bucket 2 is Messenger, Facebook Messenger. Now, here's how I want you to, like, in your brain, I want you to think of it this way. Like, pull apart Facebook and Facebook Messenger. Like, think of them as different things. And when I say think of them as different things, it shouldn't actually be that hard because they actually are different. Like, there's 2 different apps. There's a Facebook app and there's a Messenger app. Now, they sync together. Don't get me wrong. Same company, they sync together. But they literally are like separate. Like, you have to download separate apps. You can have unlimited friends on Messenger. You can't have unlimited friends on your public profile. They're just different. The way that they operate is a little bit different. Okay. What our goal is to go from bucket 1, which is your Facebook, and I'll share with you some strategies here in a minute, into bucket 2, which is to take the conversation from like the public arena into that private chat. Okay. What's bucket 3? Bucket 3 is to go from the private. One of us has got a little junior crying. Bucket 3 is to go from the private chat to a personal message or a personal conversation, phone or meet up with it. Like, so in other words, I want you to think of it as like elevating the relationship. You go from like bucket 1, which is just kind of we're all in the same bucket together, and it's we all comment and like and see and whatever, into a more private, like, I'm actually building a real friendship with you on Messenger, into like, we're like friends. Like, we've talked on the phone. Like, we've met in person for coffee. Like, she's my girl. Does that make sense? So it's an elevated going up. When I joined Modere, I'd never had met Tony and Sarah Zielecki in my whole life. Now, those of you that don't know them, they're whatever they are now, probably platinum or platinum 1 elite 3s. They're like global kind of icons in Modere, and for that matter, kind of icons in our profession in general. But they're 2 of the people that helped to pioneer this whole thing, build a massive business. I'd never met them in my whole life when we were like building the whole Modere business and the idea and the whole so on. I met them using literally this exact strategy. So I met Tony and Sarah doing this strategy. I sent Sarah, so we were like Facebook friends, but we weren't like real friends. You guys ever have anyone like that? Like, you like see me, you're like, who the crap are you, dude? Like, I don't even know who you are. I literally don't, like, when you go to someone's birthday and you're like, I don't even know what to say to this person. I don't even have any foggy clue who they are. 2 options. 1, take them to bucket 2 and say, hey, let's say I'm talking to Daphne. Hey, Daphne, this is what I said to Sarah. I said, Sarah, I've seen you guys on here. I've heard so many great things about you guys over the years from multiple people that knew you. And this is the line I say, I always try and turn Facebook friends, I put it in air quotes, into real friends. I'd love to have it. Let me know if you'd be open to actually connecting. That is such a good line. I would encourage you guys to use that line like every single day, like 3 to 5 times a day. 3 to 5 times a day, you're basically turning Facebook friends into real friends, okay? So the point is, Sarah and I went back and forth on Messenger. We ultimately got on the phone, and kind of, as they say, the rest is history, you know? And so I've recruited so many people doing this strategy. It's just unbelievable. Like every single day I'll particularly when I'm like, hey, it's game on, like let's go recruit some people or go get some customers. I'm building this strategy, like, comment, post, like I'm talking to them in the groups and Facebook and all the stuff you're part of. But what are you trying to do, guys? You're trying to take them over into bucket 2. Let me give you another quick strategy. Never accept a friend request and never send a friend request unless you go right to bucket 2. So let me give you an example. If I want to become friends with Tina Joy Carroll, and Tina, I think you're amazing. I love the leadership you do. I'm so proud of you. Love your vibrancy and your passion. You're like, love it. It's awesome. By the way, now she's actually in our company, so this is a little bit of a different example, but Tina, I sent you a friend request, and then I sent you a message. Why? Because I want to like take that relationship to the next level. Does that make sense? So imagine she's a prospect. Now in this case, it's a little bit different because she's in the company, but let's just say she's a prospect. See her vibrancy, see her aliveness, see how cool she is. Send her a message and basically say this: Tina, give her a sincere compliment. You know, you're awesome. I do my best to turn Facebook friends into real friends. Let me know if you'd actually be, I'd love to get to know you. Let me know if you'd actually be open to connecting. Now, when that one happens, then you can go back and forth in bucket 2 for a moment, in Messenger, build some relationships, see if they really are as cool as you're hoping they are. Just meaning, are they awesome or are they lame, right? And then you can go from there to bucket 3, which is, hey, let's jump on the phone. I'd love to actually have a chance to meet you. You live here local. Let's go grab a coffee, that kind of thing. Okay. What if they don't respond to you? So let me finish the point about friend requests. Why would you have them as one of your Facebook friends if they're not going to engage with you on bucket 2? Like, in other words, if you're not actually building a relationship, let me share this with you guys about Facebook. Facebook, it is not quantity over quality. It's literally the opposite. Your goal is not to max out your 5,000 friends. Your goal is to have really engaged friends, if you will, really engaged followers that like what you're up to. They like your Facebook Live. They like your comment. That's how your engagement's going to go way, way, way up. I would actually encourage you guys to add 5 new friends a day. Now, 5 new friends who are communicating with you in bucket 2. And also, I would encourage you to delete 5 friends a day, because the dead weight hurts the way that they built it specifically here recently, the way they built the algorithms is if you have a bunch of dead weight, and if you're not engaging in bucket 2, your engagement will go down. Or if you're sending messages in bucket 2 and no one's responding, your engagement's going to go down. So those are some just quick strategies. So 3 buckets. How many Facebook friends each day can you turn into real friends? No friend requests, accepting or receiving without going into bucket 2. Let me give you a third one real quick. Facebook stories. So for those of you that aren't super guru Facebook strategy, okay. I don't know how well you guys can see this, but can you guys see at the top of my Facebook now this is only on mobile. Okay, this is on your laptop, it's only on mobile. See those little circles across the top? Those are stories. So I can click on those stories, and it shows like, these different people. Now here's the thing. I can go and I can comment right there on the story. So here's what I want you guys to do. When I comment right there on the story, I'm going into bucket 2. It sends them a private message, like boom. So you can go to your phone and you can go there, comment, scroll, comment, scroll, comment, scroll. Here's what I want your comments to look like. Something like this. Daphne, your daughter is such a doll. Congratulations on the race. And then end with a question. So you'd say something like, what place did she finish? Or how long has she been running for? Or something like that. So what you're doing is you're engaging, you're encouraging a dialogue. You're starting conversations. Whoever has the most conversations wins. So guess what you're gonna want to do? Start some conversations. And those are authentic. You're not bamboozling anybody. In other words, you're not like spamming people. They're authentic, real conversations. Tina Joy, so love your passion and enthusiasm. whatever, and then end with a question. And they're short. Your daughter looks so cute. Congratulations on the win. How long has she been running? Next person. Start some chat. Start some conversation. You guys see that? Super powerful, dude. You can like turn into just a prospecting machine, because now here's the thing. You say, okay. This all sounds good. This is what I used to be like when I was brand new. Like, okay, it all sounds good. But like, when do I drop the real question, dude? When do I get to the freaking point? And guess what the answer is? It's different with every single person. Like, I'm going to encourage you to be a real, like I tell people, think like a customer and act like a human. Like, be someone's friend. Like, see if you even want to like work with them. See if there's actually a real relationship going here. Like, see if they're cool and you're like, man, this guy's awesome. And then say to them, ask questions and listen. And are you guys following what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to like rush to like the thing. Now should you bring it up eventually? Probably. But there's some people that, you get to know them and you're just like, I had no idea you were this terrible. I did not want to work with you. Like, you're going to wear me out. Like, okay, then don't ask them anything. But other people, you get to know them and you say to them, hey, I'm looking to expand my business in your area. I don't know if you'd be open to a conversation. And by the way, this is specifically good in bucket 3. When you're on the phone, bucket 3, I ask a lot of questions. When I get into bucket 3, I am asking a lot of questions. I'm not pitching. I'm questions, and I see if it's the right time to invite them. Okay, give me a thumbs up if we're tracking on those 3 ideas. Okay. All right. Here's the next thing I want to share with you, ladies and gentlemen. 3. It's our third set of 3s. Okay. I want to encourage you to prepare your customers for November and December. Let me see. Remember, I told you as leaders, we always want to be a couple steps ahead of our team, a couple steps ahead of like, we're not just reacting to today. We're proactively building our future every single day. Proactively, here's my goals. Proactively, what I'm doing. Okay. So here's what I'm going to share with you guys. By the way, I'm loving the thumbs up in the chat. Thank you so much. Love you guys. So, okay. Third one is this. In network marketing, let me just be completely 1,000% authentic. In network marketing, typically your worst months of the year are November and December. Like, I hate to break the bad news to you. Like, I know we all get on the conference call like, hey guys, like, this is like the best month ever. And then we hang up. We're like, no, it's not, dude. I'm like going on vacation. This is horrible. Here's the deal. In Modere, guess what 2 of our biggest months have been for the last, 3.5 years, every single time? November and December. Do you want to know why? Guess what some of the biggest months are in retail? Guess what the biggest months are in retail? November and December. So the retail side of our brand really kicks in November and December. This happens every single time. Black Friday and Cyber Monday are going to be epic. Okay. I'll just tell you that right now. I'm not going to tell you what we're doing, even though I wanted freaking so bad. I was like, when I was getting my water, I was like, I think I'm going to tell him. I'm like, no, I can't. I'm going to get so much trouble. But here's what I'm going to share with you guys. I know Daphne's like, you suck. What's wrong with this? So here's what I'm going to share with you. On Black Friday, we're going to have doorbusters. So like, we'll have multiple flash sales throughout the day. So it won't just be like a promotion. It will be like flash sale for this, boom, 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 then doorbuster for that, then boom, boom, boom. Like, how like Walmart has everyone trample each other. Well, no one will get trampled when we do this. Okay. So the Cyber Monday, I can't wait for you guys to hear Cyber Monday. Like, Cyber Monday, like when Justin and Sarah got that approved, I was like, we are going to drive massive. By the way, not only will we drive massive volume in our teams, whatever, the way that promotion's put together, I think it's going to help us. So it's almost like this. We'll drive massive volume through the promotion, but the promotion itself will drive massive volume through the acquisition of the promotion. So in other words, it's like the perfect storm for us on Cyber Monday. Okay. The other thing that Modere does is in December, we do the 12 days of Christmas. And we've done this every year, and it's super powerful, dude. It's a 12 flash sales, like 12 different flash sales. And if you drive those properly, it's gonna be epic. Drive them through your groups, drive them through your personal Facebook profile. Now, let me share this. If you hit someone hard with one of the 12-day flash sales, or all of them even, during only that 12 days, okay? Go back and erase the pictures that you use after you're done. Like after each day, go back and erase it. You say, why? Why would I erase it? Because we want to keep your profile your profile typically is a little bit more kind of like, they're like, you're attracting people to you. But here's the deal is it's okay to like right hook every once in a while. It's okay to like ask for the sale. It's okay. As long as you're like, give, ask, give, ask. Are you guys following what I'm saying? So in other words, give means on social media, like I'm adding content, I'm providing value, I'm talking about my kids and my life and fun things, I'm doing my Facebook Lives and all the stuff you do to like be a good member, a good social member of the platform. And then every once in a while you come with like, dude, we're doing this promotion, and you do it, you promote it in a way where we're like, limited time offer, right now only, check this out, where you'll get some sales, right? You actually drive some revenue, then take that off, then delete it. Then the next one comes. I'll give you guys a quick example. A lot of companies launch this way. I'm talking about traditional companies. Like this is how they launch products. They'll like value, add, give, and then they'll like a little burst for like a week. It's just like sell, because that's the launch of the traditional retail brand or the traditional retail product. The same thing, we can do the same thing. Okay. So what does that mean? When I say prepare your customers, I'd be making sure that I'm doing a lot of giving to the platform. Are you guys following what I'm saying? Like you're doing your Facebook Live, like knowing, let me give you guys an example, knowing that you're going to ask for some asks here coming up. So in other words, don't go quiet on Facebook and then go ask. You guys follow what I'm saying? Don't just like, you're not providing any value and it's just like kind of cold, like you're not saying much, and all of a sudden, boom, everyone should buy. I'm telling you, they're going to be like, oh, come on, bro. You want to be serve, give, good content, fun, relate, and then ask. Is everyone following that? So I prepare your customers. Number 2, I would prepare your team. I prepare your team right now. A great leader is 3 or 4 or 5 steps ahead of their team. You guys have heard me say that a few times tonight, right? A great leader is ahead of their team. So I'd get my team ready. I was looking at some notes from, I can't remember if it was last year or the year before, but like I think it was the year before. But John Milton sold 80,000 in volume, his team from him down, 80,000 in volume on Black Friday, I think 2 years ago. Guys, like these are big days, dude. And remember that what that means is his whole team was succeeding. Like everyone is having their own little pockets, right? The point I'm saying to you is this: get your customers ready by giving by providing good content and leading into it, because you're going to hit it hard on social media during those days. Get your customers ready. Some of your customers you're tight with, you can actually call them or send a message to say, hey, I just want you to know our company's doing a bunch of flash sales on Black Friday. I'll hit you up as soon as I know what they are. I'll give you like the first in. I mean, that's what I'm saying by preparing your customers. But I'd get your team doing the same thing, dude. Like your team's warming everybody up, warming their customers up. The customers are ready for some flash sales. They know what's coming, that kind of thing. If we use these right, if you use these right individually for your teams, you're gonna have a humongous close to November. Promise you. It's just we've like I've watched this happen now multiple times. And by the way, I want you guys to know, when we first started this, I was always like, oh crap, here we go, November, December, like and like we would have these just spikes, dude, huge spikes because of the retail side of our business. Okay. Last thing I want to share with you guys this is my third point of our third. Remember I said 3 sets of 3, and that is this: what you do today is what you get paid on in 6 to 12 weeks from now. So a lot of people join our business with daily pay. So follow me through on what I'm really saying here. With daily pay, if you sell something today, you get paid tomorrow. That's not what I'm saying. Like you can like make dollars tomorrow. But I'm saying the momentum you're trying to build in your business, the momentum you want in January, you build it today is the point I'm trying to get to. Like the ones that push hard through November and push hard through December, guess what's going to happen going into the social retail conference in January? Guess what's going to happen through the rest of January? They're going to come in there just like on fire, dude. Versus guess what a lot of people do? They like, it's that week after Christmas leading into New Year's, just that worthless week where it's just like, it's just like everyone's just kind of hanging out just in limbo. And they're like, you know what? I'm going to kick it into gear for next year. Dude, you're going to be so blown by those guys if you're strategic today. This is what I teach all of our leadership teams is like, you want to be steps ahead of your team. So what I'm sharing with you ladies is this: we have time leading into November, into Black Friday and Cyber Monday. I wouldn't wait for it. I keep grinding the way you are now. By the way, always use it. It's what I call unique situations. Let me share a quick little training. I wasn't going to share this with you. This is so good. unique situations. Okay, you're always searching for a unique situation. Always. A unique situation is basically this. Why is right now unique? Let me give you guys an example. If I go to Ashley and I say, hey Ashley, check this out. You should join Modere. You'll you'll be like at the very bottom of the pile, and just there's like all these people in the huge pyramid above you. But you should join. You're like you have nothing going on in your life. You should be part of it. They're just like, no thanks. Versus, Ashley, look, you and I talked about launching a business together for a long time. I already know our company's launching some really incredible promotions heading into Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Right now is the time to actually launch your business so that we're prepared to take advantage of those promotions. You guys see the difference? Like, it's like one of my mentors used to say to me, he was teasing, but he would say, you're an ordinary slob. You could just join and be at the bottom of the thing. And then everyone's like, no, thanks. Versus, this is unique and here's why. So I'll give you guys an example. I'll give you another example. A unique situation would be something like the company, a promotion, an incentive, the monthly incentive. A unique situation could be the person you're working with. So Ashley, you say, I'm actually working directly with a woman named Tammy Parr. She's an incredible leader. She's going to be mentoring me directly. I'm going to put together a team of 3 to 4 people that will work directly with me and with Tammy. I'd love to have you be part of that. You guys see that the unique thing? This is unique. Not everyone gets it. You and I will get it. Are you guys following what I'm saying? Now, here's the thing. I'm not trying to make you feel like inauthentic, but I do want you to create unique situations. A unique situation is right now is the right time, and here's why. So I tell people, learn to tell a better story. Learn to tell a better story. Guess what story Apple is telling today? It's not the story they told in 1978. They just learned to tell a better story. They evolved with it. Learn to tell the Daily Pay story. We didn't have the Daily Pay story last month, so learn to tell that story. Learn to tell the up to 60% locked in daily pay commissions. Get great at telling that story because we didn't have that. Are you guys following what I'm saying? Learn to tell the next best story and create that as a unique situation. Always be looking for the unique reason, the unique situation why right now is the best. And this is where we get creative as marketers. Not creative like we lie to people. I'm not suggesting that at all, or fabricate the truth. But it's all about how you position. Let me give you guys another example. Okay. Sorry, I'm going a little long on you here. Is everyone okay? Are we doing okay? Is this good content? I want you guys to hear this. So I worked with a gentleman years ago that he had these 2 women that lived in Iowa, and he told them, he was teaching them about how they should edify their upline. They should tell their prospects their upline's awesome or whatever. And they called him his name's Doug, and they called him. They go, Doug. They go, we can't edify him anymore. The guy is so weird. Our upline is so weird that he does the meeting every Tuesday night, the local city meeting. He has hair like Einstein. He's a math teacher at the local junior high school. He wears this white shirt with a tie, and when he shaves, he gets tiny little nick marks on his neck, and so it bleeds onto his shirt. So he has little red dots on his shirt. They go, Doug, he is so boring. He is so boring. We go to the meeting, we're just like, oh my gosh, these meetings are so boring. We bring our prospects, and our prospects are bored to tears, Doug. And they said, and here's the last thing, his breath is so bad. It's horrible. And what Doug said was this. He goes, okay. They go, Doug, we can't promote him. We cannot bring people to the meeting. He is, his breath and his hair and his boring talks. He's just so boring. So here's what Doug said. My friend Doug was a personal advisor, served in the White House with Ronald Reagan, and was a personal assistant to Herbert Walker Bush. He ran the Ron Paul campaign two cycles ago, and he's a world-renowned historian. He's on Fox News and CNN and MSNBC and NBC and whatever all the time during election cycles because he's a historian. He's a presidential historian. He's this really unique guy. He's also 40-something years in network marketing. He's made millions of dollars in network marketing. Really, really unique guy. Multiple time New York Times bestselling author. So Doug said this, and I'm going to walk you guys through what he said. Doug said, you need to learn to use your weaknesses as your strengths. Because how many of us are like, I can't grow the business because I'm not making $10,000 a month. If I was, then I'd recruit everybody, dude. And so that's our weakness. Or we say, I don't have enough credibility. That's our weakness. Or, how do you turn your weaknesses into your strengths? So here's what he said. Now, I'm going to talk about politics here, but I want everyone to know, follow me through on the example here. I'm not trying to like get into like politics. You're like, I like so-and-so, or I hate so-and-so. Okay, so just wipe clean of the political sides. Follow me through on the example, okay? He said that when George W. Bush was running against Bill Clinton, he said because he helped with this campaign, he helped to craft the campaign. He said what they did is Bill Clinton he's a really good speaker. He's basically a great orator. Like he can get up and just like, you're like, man, this guy's awesome. Let's freaking vote for him. George W. Bush was not that awesome of a speaker. He would like use weird words. And he was from Texas. And he was kind of like, speaking wasn't his gift. Okay. So here's what Doug said. He goes, what we did is this. Now, again, don't let me offend anybody on the politics side here. Just follow me through on the example. They would go to people and they'd say, look, if you want to go with Slick Willie over here, you can. Man, he's got a silver tongue. He's a great speaker, but I don't know if we can trust him. If you want someone you can trust, who, man, they may fumble and bumble their words, but you know that every word they come out of their mouth is real, because that's how they just fumble and bumble, but they are telling you off the authentic truth, then you should vote for our guy. You guys see that? They used his weakness as his strength. Okay, now here's the deal. Let me go back to this guy, this weird math teacher in Iowa that was kind of goofy and weird hair and bad breath and super boring. Doug said to him, he goes, what if you said this to your friend? So check this out for a unique situation, okay? Doug said, what if you said to your friend, look, I want to bring you to a meeting so you can hear a guy speak. This guy is going to bore you to tears. Like literally, by the way, we need to sit in the very back because his breath, terrible. But what this guy has, and anyways, weird hair, he gets these little shaving marks on his shirt. It's really a bizarre guy. But check this out. He's actually a math genius. And what he's done is he's taken the principles of mathematics from the classroom and applied them to business. And he's building an incredible business. And you're going to sit in the back of the room with me, far away as possible, because we don't want to be, blown away by his breath. And you're going to realize that if this guy can do it, wait till you see what you and I can go do together. You guys see that? They used his weaknesses as his strength, and that little team exploded out there. So here's the point I'm saying with you. How can you create a unique situation? You want to be great at this. This is what marketers do. This is what storytellers do, is they find unique reasons why today's the right day. And you're always updating the story. I tell people, tell a better story. Like, don't tell the story you told last year, or 5 years ago, or 10 years ago, or even 6 months ago. Tell the story that you tell, the new story, like update the story. Okay. I've gone way longer than we asked for. I'm so sorry. So what we're going to do is I'll throw it back, Daphne. I'll throw it back to you. And I'm happy to do some Q&A if you guys would like, but wanted to jam here with you for a few minutes.
You definitely did not go over any more than we wanted you to go over. So I was hoping, fingers crossed, that maybe you would just keep going with all the goodness, because we want it all. So let's just go off questions. Tina is asking books that you might recommend.
Okay, let me say this on books. Tina, I have 100, okay? But let me share this on books. I'm gonna ask you a question, okay? This is a question to you specifically, but to everybody. What are you passionate about? What would you be excited to learn? Like you would actually enjoy learning. Like last year, I think I read, oh my goodness, I'll count it up again, like 85, 86 books, right? And I'm like a voracious consumer, right? And this is part of how I pour into myself. And it's just part of what I've like built patterns to do it. So here's the point. How many of us have ever done this? I used to read books, and like I would just like never let it down. I would just grind through it, dude. Just grind and just like keep grinding. I was so bored. I just hated the book. But I was like, I'm not a quitter. I will finish this book. So what I did is I found books that I was really excited to learn about, like subjects that I'm just interested in. I wanted to learn, and that became the books that I wanted to learn. Now, I don't do fiction, obviously, just for me personally. I do like personal development, whatever. But here's the point: is I found books I wanted to do. So can I give you guys a quick strategy on books? I always do 2 books at a time at least. I do 2 or 3 at a time at all times. I used to not do that either. I used to like grind through that one book, and I would finish it come hell or high water, because like I bought this book and doggone it, I'm going to finish this thing. I don't do that anymore. I find subjects that I'm really interested in and I really want to learn about, and so like I'm like looking forward to the book. Like I can't wait for it. So right now I'll give you guys my list right now. By the way, I go on kicks. I'm super weird this way. Like I'll go on like a Les Brown kick or a Tony Robbins kick. Right now I'm on a Brendon Burchard kick. So I'm listening right now to the Motivation Manifesto by Brendon Burchard. I just finished the 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss. I just also finished Killing England by Bill O'Reilly. So this was super fascinating. So Bill O'Reilly did this whole series of books called Killing England, Killing Kennedy, Killing Lincoln, Killing Jesus. And they're just these really interesting history books. I love history. I love to learn the stories of history. Now, let me share with you guys my strategy here. I'm listening to one right now by Brendon Burchard called High Performance Habits. But check this out. Okay, this is my little tip for you, okay? I won't listen to High Performance Habits at the gym or when I'm in my car or anything like that. I will only listen to that when I'm studying in the morning. Now, let me tell you why. It's got so much like questions to ask and just stuff to like so much notes to take that I would be basically wasting the book to just listen to it. Just following like just to plow through it. Now, Killing England, I would listen to at the gym. I'd listen to as I drove. I would listen to as I brushed my teeth. Why? Because it's a story. Like those are, I'm not like trying to take notes on every single last detail of the story. I'm just trying to follow the story. Does that make sense? It's a great way to unwind at night is just to listen to the story. Like that's why fiction's so good at night. So the point is, I'll give you guys some other ones I just barely finished. Total Focus is a book I just finished. It's written by a former Navy SEAL. Fantastic book. The School of Greatness by Lewis Howes is a great book. But anyway, I could continue to go, but here's really what I would share with each of you. And Tina, this is specifically what I would say to you is what are you excited about? Like, what's a subject you're like, I would love to learn that. Like, I'm interested. Like, that's fascinating. That's cool. That's interesting because then learning's fun. Like, learning's creative and fun, and it's fun to learn new stuff if you're interested in the subject. If you're just like bored to tears, then I don't do it. Most of my books are audio. By the way, if you guys want, dude, how's this for like just full blown self promotion? But I think you guys will like it a ton. So you can go to my site and get my book. My book, it's 5 steps. It's called Change Your World, 5 Steps to Unapologetic Success. But my site is I am justinprince.com. And my book, I actually wrote, it has a great story about the launch of Modern there, how leaders lead when no one else is listening, because I love that story. It's a great, Sarah Zlecki and I did this conference call, and she did the intros. You guys ever done like a conference call where someone does the intros? They're like, hey, everybody, welcome to the call. We're so glad you're here. Give us your first name you're calling from. Not a solitary not one human being got on the call. And then she turned it over to me. She's like, she did this amazing introduction. Hey, we're going to go ahead and get the call recorded. And she does this big introduction. And she goes, I'm going to turn the call over to he's a fearless leader, blah, blah, blah. It's amazing. Wait till you hear it. It's so incredible. Justin Prince. And then she mutes. And we were there in Modern together one morning. And she mutes and she looks at me and she goes, good luck. She knew when she hung up, it was just me, you know? And I just, it was the best conference call in history that no one ever heard, you know? And so it's this story, that story specifically is the principle of to become a great leader and to build a great business and to change your whole world, you have to lead even when no one else is listening. I mean, how many of us can relate to that? We're like, I do a Facebook Live and it's just me. You know, it's like me and my mom are the only ones that got on. Well, guys, that's how it starts, dude. Or you do, you know, you're like trying to motivate your team and you just feel like no one's listening to a word you have to say. You know, you're just leading out there, just leading. That's how it works. So anyway, that book, I think you guys will enjoy. Super short, quick read. I think you'll get a lot out of it. But most of my books are audio. I do some physical copies, but I like the audios, but I like to take notes. My mentor said to me, don't read, study. So I don't just read them, I study them, I take notes. I use Evernote. Let me show you guys this real quick. Are you guys familiar with Evernote? Evernote is EVER and then NOTE, Evernote. It's like, looks like a little, like a green elephant, basically, when you look it up in your thing. So, okay, so let me give you guys an example. Let's see if you guys can see this. Okay. I'm trying to find it where it would be best. Okay, so I did a call this last Monday called the 10 Traits of a Great Leader, right? These are my notes from that call. And I'm always taking notes. This is part of what I do for my personal development, so I'll give you guys an example. And you say, where do I get content for Facebook Live? So check this out. I have so these are my different notes. These are different sections, different notes that I take. So one of them is called ideas for new movies. So basically new videos. These are like Facebook Lives. It's just content, like lit clips, or I hear somebody say something and I just write it down. But this is always in my pocket. And so I'm always like jotting down content. So what I want to share with you guys is this: a life worth living is a life worth remembering. And the way that you're going to remember it is through all of your notes, right? Your journaling and your notes and so on. By the way, that to me is a journal. It's a quasi journal, but like if I were to die today, heaven forbid, my kids could like go through that and be like, this is what my dad was thinking about. This is what he was studying. This is what he was like passionate about, what he was sharing with people. So Evernote's a crazy, crazy powerful app for just productivity, just efficiency and productivity. That was a long answer to what book are you reading?
No, I have taken more notes today. I'm so excited about it all. I want to go back and read my notes and see if I can read them because I was scribbling so fast.
Okay, so what do you listen to on YouTube in the morning?
What's that? Oh, yes, YouTube.
Yeah, one of the questions YouTube. Okay, so let me share this. Okay, let me hit it with you guys this way. I'll go through phases. When it comes to YouTube specifically, I'll go through phases. I'll go through a Tony Robbins kick or a Les Brown kick. Or, by the way, let me give you guys an example. Part of what I'll do is I'll loop through the same stuff over and over and over. I don't listen just to listen. I listen to study and to learn and to absorb. Like, if you guys ever listen to something just kind of like washes over you and you're like, that was cool, but it's gone. Like, you don't really know what they said. But if you listen to the same thing over and over, all of a sudden you can internalize it and teach it. Let me share this with you guys too. What I call ILT, invest, learn, teach. It's one thing to learn it. It's another thing to teach it. Well, let me say it to you this way. It's one thing to hear it. It's another thing to learn it. The way you learn is by teaching. You don't learn by hearing, you learn by teaching. And so I'm going to encourage you guys to teach your teams. Go to your group chats, do your Facebook Lives. And by the way, do your Facebook Live just so you can teach it. Even if no one listens, like, you just get it out and you start. Because then what happens is when you teach it, you internalize it. You start to own the content. It actually becomes yours. Now, when I say it becomes yours, it doesn't mean you don't give Tony Robbins credit or whoever the person is. But you know the words. The words become real to you. It's not something you just heard. It's something that you taught. When you teach, you internalize. That makes sense?
That's awesome.
Okay.
Any other questions, guys? Here's your opportunity. You have Justin.
Let me say this as you guys are doing the next one. I am going to encourage you guys to invest in your personal development. Invest means to spend $1. And I know it's like, well, that's easy for you to say, like, you're doing good. Like, I invested dollars. So in other words, not just YouTube. The point I'm saying is some of the most impactful personal development that I've gotten was from personal development that I purchased, whether it was an event that I purchased or whether it was a book that I purchased or like a course. Like I'm finishing right now. I was part of a leadership course with John C. Maxwell. He's like the world's foremost authority on leadership. And I was part of his faculty. Like, I was part of the ones that helped build the course. And every morning I listen to that course. Like, I go sit in front of my fireplace. You could ask my wife. Like, I sit there and I like study every single morning. And that for things to change, you have to change. For things to get better, you have to get better. And what I want to share with you guys is this. There's a difference between spending money and investing money. So I'll give you guys an example. If you go spend $1, it's gone, dude. you bought more candy or you bought a new whatever, gonzo, okay? What if Daphne came to you and said, I got a deal for you. If you invest $1, you'll get $100. Well, how many of us could come up with some money? Like, it was like a guaranteed 100% return, or in that case, it'd be 1,000% return. But the point you do is you'd be like every dollar's worth, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. It'd be like, we could find some money. Well, an investment in yourself is always a good investment. So what I mean by that is this: you can invest your money in real estate or stocks and bonds or whatever you want to invest in, and you might get a return, like a 5% return, 8% return, 12% return, etc. An investment in yourself, an investment in your mind, an investment in your personal development is the best investment you can make, because you can get an exponential return. Like, literally, you can take that principle, study, habit, pattern, and like you use it for the rest of your life. I mean, the power is just exponential. So I am going to encourage you guys. I want us to build a culture of this. I just want you to know how much important I think it is. Okay. Is investing in yourself, dude. Like spending $1, attending the event, reading the book, buying the book and reading it. Invest, learn, teach. Invest it, learn it, teach it. Invest, learn, teach, and you can own and internalize the concept, the content.
Okay, we got a few here.
Importance about SRC. Okay, so let me hit events from a different angle. Okay, they did a study that said that the study of the very top CEOs in the country versus the average American worker. So my first question to you guys is this: what do you think the difference was in income? Well, the difference was in income. It was 319 to 1. For every dollar the average worker made, the top CEOs in our country made 319. Can you imagine $319 per one that you make? Well, or that we make? Well, let me ask you a question. What do you think the difference was in books? The top CEOs in our country, guess how many books they read versus the average American worker? The average American worker read 1 or less a year. It was like below 1, basically. The top CEOs in our country read 60. 60 to 1 ratio in books and 319 ratio in income, in earnings. Now, I'm not suggesting that the only difference between the average American worker and the top CEOs is books. I'm not suggesting that, but what I will say is this: we can count those numbers. Like, how many books can you read? Let me give you some quick math. If you listen to a book for an hour a day, that's what I call your net time. Brushing your teeth, coming home from the gym, getting ready, throwing on your clothes, your net time is no extra time. You would have been spending that time doing something anyway. Like it didn't add more time to your day. There's an hour of net time we each have, just travel back and forth and this, whatever. If you listen to a book an hour a day, you'll listen to a book a week. A book a week's 52 a year, just with your net time. Okay. Let me share another thing about this study. The top CEOs in our country versus the average American worker. Guess how many events the average American worker attended each year to progress their personal development and progress their career, like to learn their industry better, etc. Zippo. Guess how many the average American worker did? 6. So basically 1 every other month. One every other month. Modere does 3 big events a year. Just pencil them in your schedule. I'll tell you a day that your life's going to change in network marketing. The day your life will change is when events are not something you have to decide on anymore. Because how many of us have ever been to an event, and some of you maybe have never been to one yet, okay? How many of us have ever been to an event and they're like, okay, now we're going to announce the next event. And you're like sitting there like, okay, I don't think you guys quite understand. I couldn't afford to get to this event. So the last thing I can afford is to get to the next event. And by the way, I'm spending more money right now than I'm actually making in this whole deal. So this isn't quite working out for me. That's exactly how I felt. I'd go to those events and I'm like, no, dude, I'm not going to your next one. I can't even afford to be at this one. And my business isn't on fire. I'm not exploding. I don't even know what I'm doing for sure. I'm trying to figure this whole thing out. But what I want to share with you is this. Once I got to a point where I didn't even have to argue with, I remember when my wife and I first launched our Modere business, we set down our calendar and we were like, hey, we just got the whole year's calendar. We're going to be here, here, here. We already knew, because it was part of what we were going to go do to build this business. Events are learning to build your network is like learning a language. So in their comments here, drop a yes in the comments if you can speak a second language. Is there anyone in here that can? Okay, that'd be pretty cool. So learning a second language. Now, how many of us, okay, my girl Tammy, I had a feeling you were going to come strong. Okay, someone say yes in the comments if you traveled to a country that's a foreign speaking language, right? Tammy, she speaks Spanish. I love it. So check this out. If you've ever been to you've been to Mexico or France or Germany or wherever, they speak a different language. So here's the deal. Have you ever been around someone that speaks a different language? It sounds like they're going 100 miles an hour. You're like, I don't even know what you're talking about. And everyone needs to slow down a little bit. It's just literally just washing over your head like this. Has anyone ever had that experience? So check this out. If you immerse yourself in that culture, if you're around it enough, what will happen over time is you start to like understand basically what the crap's going on. Like you heard bathroom, you heard hello, you heard goodbye, you heard yes, no, you heard how are you? I'm great. You start to understand just phrases. You can't speak it, but you can kind of understand it. Is everyone following what I'm saying? If you immerse yourself in it enough, even further, you'll get to a point where you actually can follow what they're saying. Like you understand like the basic concepts of what's going on. Like you're like, she just said to him, will you please pick up dinner? He just said to her, I'd be happy to. Like you're like, I kind of get it. If you're around it enough through immersion, if you immerse yourself in it enough, you can speak the language. Guess what, guys? Building a network is a lot like that. What happens is you go to like your first, like you hear a Zoom like this, like the leaders on this Zoom, the leaders meaning the folks that have been doing this the longest, they're probably getting more out of this Zoom at different levels than if you're like, today's your first day. You know, the first day you're just like, I don't know why everyone's so happy this guy's here. Like, when does he stop talking, you know? And you're like, okay, morning pattern, like whatever. But here's the thing, then over a period of time, you start to understand it more, immerse yourself in it more. So here's the point of really what I'm trying to get to, is you learn through immersion. That's how we learn languages. That's how we learned to be socially, you know, you go to school and you learn through immersion. We learn through immersion. The events are immersion. You leave your community, you fly somewhere else, you're around different people, you're out of your element. Like you learn through immersion. And guess what happens? The first event you go to, you feel like they're just all speaking like a different freaking language. You're like, I get they're all excited. I don't even know what anyone's talking about. After a while, you're like, you kind of are following what's happening. After a while, you're like, I pretty much know what they're saying. After a while, through the immersion, you can speak the language. Like you become a professional social marketer. Like you can speak it. And you have Tammy's confidence. You have Daphne's confidence. Like you have Tina's confidence. Like you're just like, they know the deal. So anyway, that's the powerful thing about events. I mean, I could go on forever. I'll share this just to close on the events, okay? I can't recommend to you events strongly enough. And I want you to know, I understand the financial cost. I also understand the time away from your family and getting a babysitter and I get it, guys. I get it. Believe me, I feel you. And I understand you're like, I can't afford to go. Believe me, I feel you. Okay. I have walked in those shoes. And leaders are born at events. Like I was born at events. Like I wouldn't have turned into who I turned into or who I'm turning into as a leader without the events. Like there was just the immersion process where finally like, one day you're just like, I got this thing, dude. You'll come home from events and you'll just blow and go. Not everybody, not every event. That's the other thing is some events are just part of that immersion process. Some of them are like, you're like, okay, it's my turn. Got it. Thank you. Like I got it now. And it's your turn to like blow and go. So I can't encourage you strongly enough to go. The person that makes the decision to go today, you'll have the confidence and the credibility to say to your team, your young team, hey, you should be there. Why should they be there? Because you're going. No one wants to say to your team, all of you should go. I'm not going to make the sacrifice to go, but all of you should. No. Great leaders lead by example because the essence of leadership is example. Dude, these are like the longest answers ever. Short questions.
Okay, Brecken typed something in here. I gotta scroll up to it. Hold on. What would you tell someone, or how would you encourage someone who is new to this industry that feels like they're getting a no after no and just hitting a brick wall?
Okay, great question. Okay, so first of all, it's a great question. And second of all, I know what that feels like. So I feel your pain right now. It's not fun. A couple of things I'm going to share with you. I'm going to hit it from a couple angles. Number one, I'm going to say to you, I'm going to encourage you to get with your upline, like your sponsor, get with somebody going up the line that's like your next active team leader, your next active director. Like reach up the line and get some coaching. Like, let's hear what you're saying to people. Like, what are you sending people right now? Like, what's the messaging? You might be a little off on your messaging. Like most people, truthfully, guys, they're like a blank whiteboard. And the only thing that happens is when we write on it, they respond to what we write. Meaning we use language. They're like, is it one of those one things? And you're like, I haven't even told you what it is yet. And you're already like skeptical. Like that's our fault. That's not their fault. That's our fault. We're using language that's like creating adverse reactions to them. They're like, oh, they're already off. Okay, that's number one. So I'm going to encourage you to get some coaching. That's number one. Number two, I'm also going to encourage you to keep going because there's more people out there than mistakes you can make. Like my first few zillion contacts were terrible. Like they were just brutal. And I mean, I won on a couple of them out of like either pity, they felt bad for me, or just sheer the law of numbers. Like someone's like, sure, I want to do it. I'm like, are you sure? But there's just more people out there than mistakes you can make. I just encourage you to like divorce yourself from the result and just marry the process. Like you're learning right now, you're growing. And I know that's hard. That's easy to say because you're like, it's easy to say, but it's hard to do because you're thinking, dude, I'm like running out of people to talk to. Like I'm like blowing through everybody. There's more people out there. Okay. So get some good coaching and then just keep going, keep trying, keep getting better. That's what I call plan, do, review. Plan it, do it, review it. Like it's PDR, plan, do, review it. So in other words, what I'm saying is if I talk to Daphne and I say to her, hey, here's what I'm saying. She says, here, I want you to do this. This is our planning. I go do it and then get with her and review what I did. Like, Daphne, this is what they said. She can, okay, cool. They said that, cool. Here's how I want you to do it next time. Just tighten yourself up a little bit. Last thing I'm going to share, can I get at the heart of the issue? The last thing I'm going to share is this. Okay, so I try to give you 3 tactical things. Reach up, get some good coaching. What I say was number 2. 3 was plan to review. Number two is just keep going. You're going to get better as you go, just like everything else in life. You're just going to build your skills, build your confidence as you go. Don't give up on yourself. Here's the 4th thing, though. I want to ask you a question, okay? Why are you giving so much weight to those people's words and letting them sting so much? Like, who the hell are they? I mean, with all due respect, right? Some of you guys have heard this story. When I was, the very first day I decided to do this, the very first day, dude, I hadn't even signed up yet. Like, it was like emotionally decided. I hadn't even like physically signed up yet. It was on a Sunday. And that morning, I literally said to my wife, I'm like, sweetheart, we're going to do this. Like, I was 25 years old. I'm like, I was like, I'm doing this. Like, I'm committed. I'm doing this thing. And I went to church and I had 2 friends make fun of me at church. Like, we're sitting there. And by the way, when I say church, they're bringing them home. Yeah. Oh, I wonder about our sons, guys getting home from practice. So check this out. We had like the group meeting, and then we went into the hallway. And when I say friends from church, I never even hung out with these guys in my whole life. They were just like guys I saw at church, right? We're in the hallway, and the one, I say to the one guy, "What are you up to, man? How's life? How's your family? How's your business? Or how's your job?" And he's like, "Hate my job, dude. It sucks. Horrible. Family's fine. My wife's kind of lame, but it's fine. Okay, cool." The other guy, "How's your job? Sucks, dude. It's horrible. How's your family?" "Oh, they're fine. Whatever." I go, "Prince, what are you up to?" Well, you know what? I'm actually really excited. I'm starting a new business. I didn't try and, this is the honest truth. Didn't try and recruit them. Didn't try and sell them anything. I wasn't overly anxious about it. I just was like, I'm starting a new business. They started laughing like a belly laugh. These 2 guys, like laughing, like slapping their leg, like, "You're going to fire your boss, dude. You're going to do one of those one things like, I'll see what happens to you." Like this big, ugly belly laugh. And I'm like, look at these guys. Now, I got to tell you something about me. By the way, let me apologize in advance for this part, okay? So a long time ago, I tell people the older I get, the tougher I was, but a long time ago, I used to box, like Junior Olympics and Golden Gloves. I'm sitting there, 25-year-old grown man in the hallway, and these 2 guys are laughing at me. Do you guys want to know the first emotion that came out of my mind? Chin. I just thought like, pop, like, you think it's funny? Like, I wanted to knock these 2 dudes out. And again, I want you to know, I apologize. I've repented. Okay, I'm a grown man. I'm going to do this. But like literally, I was like, I was not used to having people laugh in my face. It was so bizarre to me. The second emotion I had, by the way, I didn't punch him, thank goodness. Can you imagine the pastor walking down the hallway and there's these 2 guys laying there like, what happened? What happened here? Oh, they made fun of Brother Prince's dream over here, and he knocked him out cold in the middle of a church hallway. Like, that probably wouldn't go so hot. Okay. My wife would be like, okay, you're an idiot. Okay. Number 2 emotion I had is I wanted to defend myself. I wanted to be like, you don't even know what you don't even like your job. You're a loser. Like, at least I'm trying to pursue my dreams. Like I wanted to like defend myself and like, people like this industry and it's a good industry and it's not bad. I just like wanted to defend myself. The third thing I wanted to do is I wanted to reach out and grab all the words that had just come out of my mouth and just go, and just put them right back in my mouth and not say a word. Because no one makes fun of the little guy no one makes fun of you if you're not trying to do anything with your life. Like if I would have just stayed doing what I was doing and just kind of stayed in the corner and sold animated Bible cartoon movies at a mall kiosk, no one makes fun of that guy because no one cares. They make fun of the guy that's like trying to get out of the bucket and trying to grow their life and trying to do something different and trying to become somebody and chasing their dream and trying to fire their boss and all these things. They're like, that's the one that's the target, because they're like, oh, you think you're better than everyone else? In Asia, they say that the nail that sticks up shall be hammered down. And in Australia, they call it the tall poppy syndrome. If the top poppy flower pops up, they try and slice it down. Why? Because how dare that flower think it can, slice up above it, get up above anybody else, they'll slice it down. All over the world, they say it in different ways. It's the same thing in different ways. So here's my question. Guess what I did of the three? Zero, none of the three. I didn't punch him. I didn't defend it. And I didn't take the words back. I literally just sat there like an idiot. Like I was just like this. Like I wanted to defend him. I wanted to punch him. I just sat there like a total dodo. Here's the point. I wanted to quit so badly that day. I can't even tell you. I was just like, I'm done. I'm out. People like what they're good at, and I wasn't good at this new thing. So I wanted to quit. I wanted to quit right there. So my question to you is, why did those guys' words have so much power? Both of those guys, the one guy completely lost his family. His life just fell apart. His whole life's been a train wreck. The other guy lives in the same neighborhood. We've moved 3 times. Like we've upgraded 3 times since that original neighborhood. And I'm not knocking them. I'm just simply saying, why did I let them have so much weight? Like I almost quit my whole dreams because they laughed at me in a church hallway. Let me give you as an example. If a 3-year-old child walked up to you and said, "You're dumb," would you be like, "That's it. You're right. I am. I quit." No, dude. No. If a 3-year-old walked up to you and said that, you'd be like, okay, tap on the head, go home, go, where's your mom? Like, get out of here. The water would roll right off the duck's back. Why? Because you just wouldn't give any weight to it. It just doesn't hurt. It's just no credibility, right? So my question to you is this. Why does the no from your father, your brother-in-law, or the no from your neighbor, or your no from your friend, it's like, it stings to like the core. How many of us have heard that sticks and stones will break my bones, your words never hurt me? How come it's the exact opposite? Like, I can repair the broken bone, but dude, what you said, it's stuck with me for 10 years, I'm just going to simply say this. Surround yourself with people who believe in you and who tell you that you can do it. I have a whole story. Some of you guys heard my Ronald Reagan story, but I won't tell it now. But just surround yourself with people that will believe in you and tell you that you can do it. They believe in your dreams. They believe in your goals. When David, with David and Goliath, when David was at the campfire the night before he fought Goliath, he's going around to all the different soldiers and he says, "What's the reward? Let me see if I got this right. What's the reward for the man that kills Goliath?" I'm sorry, what is it again? And his brother Eliab overheard him. And what is it about human nature that Eliab was ticked? Eliab walked up and tried to embarrass him in front of the soldiers. Eliab said, "You've had a long day, haven't you, kid? Like, you wanted to see a soldier in their uniform. Like, you want to see a real sword. Okay, cool. Where's the sheep that our dad asked you to watch?" And guess what the good book says? 7 words. He turned from him to another. Guess what we need to do? Turn from them to another. There's somebody else to go talk to that's going to believe in your dreams, believe in your goals, sees what you see. So just turn from them and talk to somebody else. And that's the key. So anyway, long answer. Love you guys. Think you're amazing. Sorry for an hour and 17 minutes.
No, we will take every bit of it. We appreciate you taking the time out of your evening to jump on with us. Words just can't even express our gratitude.
Well, I'm so proud of each of you. I love your leader. I love your leaders here. I love each of you. I'm proud of you for taking an hour and 17 minutes of your life to pour into your own personal leadership. An investment of your time, an investment of your money, an investment into yourself is always a good investment. So I'm really proud of you guys. But guys, let's finish November strong. Let's head into December with some steam, and let's crank in 2018. Let's make this literally the best year of your life. And also in 2018, make sure you start that with one of your 6 events, right? You're there at a social retail conference.
Awesome. Thanks, Justin.
Hey guys, you're the best. Thank you so much for having me. Talk soon.